Hey, what's up guys? Andy back with Level 1, and today we're reviewing the Gamesir G5 remote controller. This thing is awesome. Had a ton of fun using it. It's a remote control that connects to your phone using Bluetooth. Can be Android or iOS. Specifically designed for MOBAs, but it can be used for anything. And super easy to set up for anything, which I'll show you in this review. So this thing is pretty awesome. It was a Kickstarter, finally a Kickstarter that came through, right? It's like $70 on their website, but it's so popular it's actually sold out right now. But this thing is pretty beast. I played a little bit of Dragon Hunter 5 with it. I played some PUBG with it. Came in like the top 10 every single time. So it does give you an advantage. Which is why on iOS, if you are playing with a controller, not just this one, but any controller, they will ban you from Fortnite or PUBG, but only on iOS. I'm not sure about Android. I don't think so. I used it on Android, and nothing. So, but iOS, you will get banned from Fortnite for using any type of controller. Not 100% sure how they can tell, but they can tell, and they will ban you. So that's just a heads up, not just with the Gamesir, but remember, any type of advantage you're trying to get in Fortnite, they will ban you. But great, this thing is great. Works with 5.0 Bluetooth, so even though it has a lot of range, but you're going to be keeping it close, obviously. I think the best thing about that is that it's quick, so there's no lag really when you're playing, and you need that, especially for MOBAs, you know, because you're moving fast and you're moving really quickly. So this is the controller. Pretty nice design, a little wide, but it feels really comfortable, almost like the Xbox controller, right? And it even has like a lot of buttons, even the back buttons. And I think that's one of the things I loved about this the most, because you can customize every single button on here. And not only do you have like the typical 4 buttons, the D-pad, and like the joystick on the side, but you also have like these 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons up here. You have R1, L1, R2, L2, but then you have L3 and R3, and then even L4 and R4 right here on the side. And they're easy to get to. Like, you have these on here, you can move back to these. Like, super easy, super comfortable, and it's great. One little downside about the controller is obviously you do have to charge it separately, but it does not charge your phone while you're playing also. So yeah, so while you're destroying your battery playing games on your phone, this is not really charging it, so you actually have to charge both devices separately. It would have been nice if they had like a feature that you could charge the phone with the remote. So let's say it's dying, you could just plug into the remote and charge both. But unfortunately, that's not the case, right? But not everything can always be perfect, but this is a pretty cool controller. This is a holder right here. You just slide your phone in there and clamp it down. The app is really easy to use, really easy to set up. Again, I'm going to demonstrate on a Galaxy S9. So on the S9, you have to download APK because it's a third-party app, obviously. On both iOS and Android, obviously, you have to download from their website, which when you're setting it up, taking it out of the box, like everything, all the information is there. Can be a little confusing because, you know, a lot of the instructions were in Chinese. No, but they give you English instructions also. But it's easy to set up. Again, you just go download the app, and it connects with Bluetooth. You just hold the button and connect up right away. I'm going to show you this app right here. It's this yellow one in the corner. Open it up really quickly. They already have a list of, let me go to the main screen, a list of a bunch of games that are already compatible with this controller right out the box. So these games right here, all of these games right here, you actually don't need to configure anything because these games already have like a pre-configured control with the controller, so you just download the game and you can play right away. the game I'm about to show you, Dragon Hunter 5, did not have a pre-configuration on it, but I'll show you how easy it is. So once you turn on the remote holding the button down, obviously it's going to light up blue and flash, and then you just go to connect right there on the app, and boom, that's it, done. So now press back, right, Dragon Hunter 5, press this button right here to start it up, and it'll actually start the game for you. So you actually don't have to like go to the game, start the app for this, and so we just slide it in here, 2 seconds, and that's done. Right there, as you see, this is let me skip. Okay, so as you can see, the remote is not going to work right away because there's no configuration for this game, but it's super easy to set up a configuration for it. So if you look right here in the corner, right, there's a little blue button that brings up the settings. Then we'll just press settings, right, and right there, that whole screen right there is every single button on the controller. That's all the buttons. So I'll just take like a left stick right here and drag it over to the corner of the screen, and then let me press X. So exit out. Now, as you can see, the character's already moving because I just made the left stick work to control the movement. Now I'll just go back to settings, right? And then I'll move the A button over here to where the attack is and press X. And then now, that's it. Like, and you can configure for every game. If you go into settings, right, they have button configurations right there that you can set up yourself, which is what I was just doing. But they also have a list right here where you press import and all your saved button configurations are right there. You can download, you can have them saved in a cloud. Like, this thing is really easy to set up for different games. Now if I want to switch games and play like PUBG or something, I can just go back to the app, and I'll show you. This is a game that already has a button configuration, so you don't have to set anything up. And then just open up PUBG, and even before the game fully comes on, you'll see the setup for the buttons. Alright, there it goes. See, the game hasn't even started yet, it's just loading, but you see all those little buttons. Those are all the buttons for this game, like all set up there. So you have like A and B over here. Up here, I know it's really hard to see, but up here you have like these buttons here are like for your settings, they go in your bag, like everything. And with PUBG, the configuration was like a little bit off, like one button would be slightly to the left or something, but again, you just go into the settings and you just drag it over to the side and your button will be perfectly fine. One problem also with that I had, again, this is specifically designed really for MOBAs. So remember, this is like for casting spells quickly. You have the trackpad to move and you can just touch the button, cast your spells and all that stuff. And so for first person shooters, they do have other controllers that isn't a trackpad on this side, but you know, you can just play like a traditional controller. So with this, when I played a first person shooter on PUBG, like when you're turning around because someone's behind you, you have to swipe, and that does cause a little bit of a delay because, you know, whereas with this side, like you could just hold the joystick to the side and it'll just automatically turn around, but because it's a trackpad, you have to keep swiping like to spin full 360 and see who's attacking you from behind. So that can be a little bit annoying, but overall it's a pretty great game. But even when you're playing honestly on mobile, right, you would still have to swipe to turn around anyway. So while this is supposed to give you an advantage, obviously for a first person shooter you would want like the G4, which actually has two. So, you know, that's just something that again isn't really the fault of Gamesir, because like the G5, because this model is really for mobiles again. So if you want to play first person shooter specifically, they do have G4. They have a bunch of other models out there. that are really great. Honestly, they even have a new one that I saw that was just this, just the handle part and the triggers, and it just clips around the phone, and you actually have the phone right in the middle, and you just like touch the screen. You're still using the actual screen to move around. You just have the triggers. So it's they have a lot of cool stuff coming out, and and again, this is a really cool one. And if you game on your phone a lot, or you want to game on your phone, or you want to get into like playing MOBAs and stuff like that, this will definitely give you a good advantage. And it was pretty fun. Battery lasts a pretty long time, 18-hour battery life. And again, that was the only downside, was what I explained. And on Android, another issue that I kind of had was like, if I shut down all the apps, right? Like if you look up at the top screen, apps running, that app is still that yellow one. That's still their app is still running. Like you have to actually like shut down their app, or it will stay running in the background and it can kill your battery. So when you're done playing with the remote, you have to remember you have to shut down that app, because even swiping like regular and just shutting everything off, you have to force stop it, because it'll just keep running in the background. Because even now on the lock screen where you look at apps running, it's still running right there. So I think that was a little confusing. I don't know what happened there. But remember, they're currently out of stock, but they will be back. This thing is pretty awesome. If you're interested, check out their website. They have a bunch of other remotes and a bunch of other cool stuff. So yeah, so G5, really awesome. So again, level 1, keeping you posted on all the cool tech stuff and all the game news. So make sure you keep checking us out, and thanks for watching.